and gentlemen.
Yo, baby! Rob Scott!
What's happening, my boy?
What's happening, baby? How are you feeling, man? How was your break? How was Thanksgiving break, man?
Hey, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. You know, like most vacations, it wasn't long enough, but it definitely felt good to be around family, to be around friends, and to just get a break from it all. You know what I mean?
I heard that.
How was yours, my boy? How was yours?
Oh, you know, I was kicking it with some guys, I grew up with that I consider family. It was great seeing them. Family didn't do a big thing on Thanksgiving. My sister was a little under the weather. And so we did something on Sunday. But,
Yeah.
I got to kick it with some guys I haven't seen in a while, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then prime time, baby. Come on, talk to me. 8-0. 8-0. We won the chip last night. Had 3 sacks last night. I was killing it. I don't know what I was feeling, man. I was going, man. I was going crazy. We were snapping. My boy Kev, my boy James, my boy Frank started off the game with a touchdown to the house off the first play of the game. I mean, absolutely beautiful. My boy Mark, a.k.a. White Lightning. That's not a nickname now. You seen the video. Lightning hit that man's soul on October, on Halloween night when we was playing football outside on Lakeshore Drive. The Kings of LSD are here. Rob, we didn't even have to play the semi game.
We're talking about 3 times.
We had to play a conference championship before the championship, right?
Yeah.
So the team that was supposed to play before us won. And then they had to play us. They walked up to the refs. We pull up to the game. We say, yo, where they at?
Yeah.
Where's I believe it was Spread Hawks. I said, where's the Spread Hawks? They said, oh, they quit. They saw y'all. They had to play y'all. They said
they didn't want no smoke.
They didn't want no smoke. They ain't want it. They ain't want it. Year, baby, 9 sacks in 8 games. I don't know what I'm feeling, but I'm feeling sticky. I ain't gonna lie though. 3 of them came in one game and 3 of them came in the other. But I digress. And 3 of them came in this last game. But I digress nonetheless. I hope y'all have
congratulations though, bro. Congratulations though, for real.
Thank you, sir. It's 3-time champ. It's our 3rd ring in flag football. I mean, absolute blast, bro. Absolute blast.
Yes, sir.
But man, it's not the only football team to win in Chicago, man. Let's talk about it. The Chicago Bears, for the first time since 1993, win a football game without scoring a touchdown. That was against the Atlanta Falcons way back when. I mean, Rob, there's a lot of conversations brewing right now in Chicago, and I want to start it off with what is most important to me. Because y'all think we just talk about basketball now. No, we get down.
Oh, no. We watch real sports.
We watch football, baby. Come on. Not watch. We understand the game. So I want to break down the monsters of the Midway. The young Bears core that they're not there yet. I'm not going to deem them to be there yet. I still don't think they have the face of the defense quite yet. I like Montez Sweat. I love Jalen Johnson. I like all these other guys and all these other complementary pieces, but still think they're missing that dynamic X factor, that Max Crosby, that Aiden Hutchinson, someone along those lines. You know what I'm talking about? You're looking at a Khalil Mack type move. You know what I mean? And I think
you like a TJ Watt or something.
A TJ Watt. You're missing. Montez is a dog, but you need that X factor. You know what I mean?
Montez was a dog, but we still had a little bit of disappointment, like because we heard we was possibly getting Chase Young, and we know that's dynamic. I'm not gonna lie to you. You see immediately what Chase Young has done for the 49ers.
Oh man, absolutely.
Like they both feel revived because they used to be college teammates. So
right.
He feels revitalized. Like the dude has been on a tear.
I will say this though, Rob. So to that point, you say Chase Young has been great. It's easy to be great when you next to Nick Bosa.
But he was great on Washington.
He was all right.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he made a name in his rookie year.
His
he
rookie
kind of
year, he was
slowed
a
down a
dog.
little bit due to injuries,
Yeah,
but everybody know who Chase Young is and
right,
what he
right,
brings
right,
to
right.
the table.
I like Montez though. I like the health of Montez. I like the
Yeah,
mentality. I'm a big Chase Young fan though as well. I thought
yeah.
we could have had the two Ohio State captains, Justin Fields and Chase Young. I think that would have been crazy. We would have had the captain of the offense, captain of the defense, and they former teammates. That would have been awesome. Honestly, personally, myself, I would have got both of them if I third round and second round pick. Let's run it. I don't care. Yannick,
Speaking,
stay home. Don't
speaking
care.
of Ohio State, man, I'm hoping that they iron Marvin Harrison Jr. because I would love to see DJ Moore on one side and MHJ on the other side. Lord Jesus.
It would be beautiful, man. It would be truly. And
Talk
you got
about
Tyler Scott in
playmakers.
the slot. Oh, it'd be crazy. It'd be sticky, bro. It'd be menacing hours. But I want to break down to you what I saw during this game. I don't know if you got a chance to catch the entire game, but
I watched it and I felt bad for America for having to endure that.
man. First of all, shout out to the Bears defense though. 4 picks from Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs has had a phenomenal year. Hey, bro.
Sacks too, I think two or three sacks. They was on his
Two,
ass.
two sacks, if I'm not mistaken. I know Montez Sweat had one. I think Brisker had the other.
Yeah.
But getting into that, Jalen Johnson, pay that man.
Yeah.
Not only responsible for one interception, but I saw him tip 2 other ones to Kyler Gordon and TJ Edwards. Yeah, man. Said, catch that for me, big dog.
Yeah.
Called it. I mean,
one of the top defensive backs in the league right now.
100%. Now, Rob, what is your expectations right now this offseason, though, when it pertains to him? Do you see it just being a franchise tag, or do you think a deal gets done?
I would say this. I think a deal gets done. I think Ryan Poles, our general manager, he understands I have to keep the playmakers around. Like, you're not going to win without playmakers, considering the fact that he was the GM of the Kansas City Chiefs. So he understands, hey, I saw what happened when we put guys around Mahomes. I saw what happened when we bring in a Chris Johnson on that defense and what they've turned and blossomed into. And I hope he understands you're also going to need somebody to run the ship to coach the damn team. So we'll talk about that later. But I fully expect him. I don't think Jalen wants to go anywhere. He just wants to rightfully be paid as he should be. You know, you look at the top corners in the league, and he's definitely up there. So they should get the deal done.
I think the reality,
we got enough money too. We still got money on that cap.
A lot of money. And something for me, Rob, that I think so we obviously pay Montez Sweat, we pay Cole Kmet, we got a couple guys locked in. You're gonna probably part ways with guys like Cody Whitehair, Darnell Mooney. Unfortunately, I think you're gonna have
we might be able to keep Mooney.
I don't really. Okay, so here's my thing with that, right?
His market value now.
But here's my thing.
Yeah.
So you want to pay Jalen. Jalen wants to be one of the top paid DBs in football. And I see that we're probably I'm not gonna say we are, because the Bears are gonna be the Bears at the end of the day. They can damn well get Caleb Williams, and I
hope not. I don't see Caleb having any more success than Justin Fields.
But in my personal opinion, and I believe in yours as well, with the number 1 pick, you're gonna bring in Marvin Harrison Jr., right? You have DJ Moore. You have Tyler Scott, who you just drafted high out of Cincinnati. If you look at Darnell Mooney and you see that wide receiver room, adding Marvin Harrison Jr., I'm like, all right, well, I'm not paying Darnell Mooney to be a number 2 because he's not going to be a number 2.
No, we're gonna have a 1
and he doesn't want to get paid as a number 3.
Yeah.
So I think you probably go elsewhere, and also the injuries and just what he's not been able to do, and whether that's through Luke Getsy or not, which I believe a lot of this is because of Luke Getsy. But
I also think his style of play, because I brought this up on my show. Like, I noticed, like, when Tyson Bagent was playing, he catered more to Cole Kmet and Darnell Mooney. And when Fields gets in the game, he caters more to DJ Moore. So yeah, I mean, you want to get the ball in your best playmaker's hand at the end of the day, especially when you're having a problem scoring the ball.
100%. 100%. And I think, at the end of the day, man, there's so many questions and there's not a lot of answers. And I think the biggest thing for me moving forward is what we're going to do at the quarterback position, because it speaks volumes to what's going to happen. You and I have had this conversation many times, and I've always said it. I've always stood 10 toes. We're not moving on from it. Now, was there a quarterback controversy? I told you, and you and I talked on the phone. I said, yeah, there is one right now, and that's the problem. And once we realize, all right, we're still rocking with Justin. Justin comes back and he's showing up and he's showing out. Cool. That's all I wanted. I didn't want there to be a quarterback controversy. You look at a situation when Gardner Minshew filled in for Jalen Hurts, Rob, last season against the Cowboys, and he's balling out. Ask 99. 99.
Balling out right now because the Colts are right now in playoff position.
100%, but you ask 99 Philadelphia Eagles fans.
Yeah.
Hey, you rocking with Gardner come playoffs? Fuck no.
No.
We're getting Jalen.
Like the good gospel songs say, you know where your help coming from. You look to the mountains. Gardner Minshew, he can get the job done for a while, but you expected Jalen Hurts to come back and run.
Right. But see, here's my problem though. With Justin Fields, those weren't the same conversations.
Nah.
You asked 99 people in Chicago at the time where Tyson Bagent was peaking, who are you taking, Justin Fields or Tyson Bagent? I believe the city was kind of 40-60 split.
I started to even look at Tyson Bagent just because, and I know we're going to get into this more and more when we talk football, which I'm glad you started to talk football because, like I say, basketball is my forever love, but the NFL, that's my first love. To me, one of the huge differences between Bagent and Fields is decision making.
Right.
When Bagent got in the game, he was very decisive with the ball. He knew, okay, I'm gonna hit my check downs, And I heard you talk about this on your show, on Mike on the Mic, which is an excellent show. Fire intro, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
But you talked about this on your show. Justin Fields holds on to the ball too long, and like he's looking for the home run shot when you don't need that. Mm-hmm. Take your check downs. That's what made Tom Brady so efficient. A lot of people don't look at. They look at the glitz and glamour of what he did when he had Randy Moss or what he did when he had Deion Branch and Julian Edelman. But you didn't look at the fact that he made people like Amendola and Scotty Miller stars because he can hit the check down.
Hey, real quick. Hey, shout out Scotty Miller, bro. That man got my check that season. Boy, I ain't gonna lie to you. But
that's my only thing with that. Justin Fields to me, like there are whole compilations on YouTube of him missing passes.
They're long,
wide open.
They are long compilations. This isn't like a 2-minute. This is like a 10-minute compilation, Rob, of all this season. And I'm like, it's upsetting. But here's what I love: post game, you're in the locker room. I'm an energy guy. I feel it. I know, like, not to get back into the flag football team and my guys in prime time, but shout out prime time. But with that being said, when I got this team together with my boy Kev and James, and we put this squad together, I said, man, I feel it. I know, like dogs, I could trust these guys, and you could feel it in your soul. And it feels right. You feel like, okay, this is. My boy James looked at me last night when we got out the car and we're walking down LSD and we're looking, and he looks at me, he goes, I go, hey man, what are we gonna do? He said we're gonna.
He's not talking about drugs, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about Lakeshore Drive for you.
Lean back to start. But we're doing that, man. And he's like, we're gonna finish the story. And I'm like, all right, 100%. And that was a story that I've been bought into since the very beginning. And I feel like when I saw this image in the locker room and I saw Ryan Poles, I saw him hug Matt Eberflus, and it was kind of like a pat on the back, get the fuck off me kind of thing.
Yeah.
But in this image right here, this looks like a general manager that is bought into Justin Fields. Yeah. And I kind of don't like where that left hand's tucking though, Rob. He clenching that booty, if you ask me. But
pause.
Resume. No, but anyways. No, baby.
I was ready for you this time. No resume.
But in all seriousness, though, Rob, I want your opinion. You see this image. Do you think this is just a man excited that they got a victory, or do you think this is, hey man, I saw Justin Fields put a game-winning drive together, and I am proud of my quarterback?
I think that's definitely a look of like a proud father. Especially because like we've all know this. Anybody who's watched the Bears know when we got general manager Ryan Poles, he didn't draft Justin Fields. Justin Fields was already in. He didn't even bring in Eberflus.
Arguably, didn't even bring in Eberflus.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? So that's like, I think to him, he had to be sold on Justin Fields. And Justin Fields showed resolve in that game. Remember, he had 2 fourth-quarter fumbles. Actually, one that they cashed in. Back-to-back fumbles, and one that they cashed in on. So, luckily the Bears defense was able to stand up and give us a little glimpse of yesteryear. But, Justin Fields able to shake that off, as you mentioned, put in a game-winning drive, put us in field goal range. Santos come in, deliver the goods as usual, and and this was shocking. Remember, I think he missed the first field goal of the game. So
that was a poor start, but I mean, hey, the rest of the night
was how you start. It's about how you finish, baby.
100%. He finished with all the points
strong, because that would have been a real demoralizing. You talking about with the picture, but that would have been. Hey, DN, appreciate you for watching, my brother. Hey, but that would have been very demoralizing to lose to the Vikings, especially after Dobbs throws 4 interceptions and them not having Kirk Cousins, or Justin Jefferson, So,
which, by the way, Rob, you know they felt sorry about that. They activated Justin Jefferson the next day. They were like, all right, well, fuck this. You can't do this anymore.
Well, if you're not gonna have Cousins, you want to have the best guy out there, and I like that kid Addison. Don't get me wrong.
I
heard Dustin Stat guy say something. Shout out to Dustin, and he mentioned something about Addison, and we were talking back and forth. And he made me start to keep my eye on this kid. I even bet on this kid a couple times. He was coming through. He was looking real good under Kirk Cousins. So I'm really excited. Not as excited as I am for the Bears, but I'm excited to see what this Vikings team can do with Justin Jefferson and Addison.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think that was I made that conversation. I had that same conversation with Dustin as well.
Yeah.
When we talked about the best wide receiver in this draft class, I said it was Jordan Addison. It was Jordan Addison or Jackson Smith-Njigba, and I feel like JSN is still one of those guys that you can look at and say he's one of the best wide receivers. Unfortunately, he's just behind Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf right now. His time's coming for sure.
Yeah.
But just like Jordan Addison having success without Justin Jefferson being there, I'm curious to see how it's going to look when he is back in there. But I don't think there's going to be a problem whatsoever. I think it's going to be even better because even Kirk was hitting him for a while, even with Justin Jefferson out there. But
that kid is a dog.
I have a proposal tonight. I want to get some people upset. I upset a lot of people in my friend group. I upset a lot of people in the fantasy group chat, and that's okay because I want to have a debate tonight with my brother Rob Scott. Maybe it's not a debate. Maybe we agree. Right now, Fox Sports has it currently. Lamar Jackson is 4th in the MVP race. 9-3 on the year. Top 2, top 3 defense, arguably. I think they're the best defense when they're healthy. But with that being said, Lamar Jackson is 4th. I want to make a comparison right now that is going to blow your mind. Justin Fields and Lamar Jackson have had the same exact season, and nobody's talking about it. It's a conversation I don't think a lot of people are ready for. Rob, can I read you a couple stats that'll kind of just maybe turn you my way before I ask you a question? On the year, from a passing perspective, Justin Fields has 12 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 1,500 yards. Lamar Jackson has 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 2,600 yards. And mind you, Justin played 4 less games. So if you do that math, Justin might be sitting somewhere at like 2,200 yards if he plays those games, 23, 2,400, something around those. He's probably still down by a couple hundred versus Lamar, but the interception ratio is the same, and he only has 1 more passing touchdown than Justin Fields. The conversation I want to have today is that Justin Fields is having a great season and no one's talking about it. Justin Fields is in one of the worst situations possible in all of football, and he's getting killed for his performance. Lamar Jackson's on a 9-3 team with the same exact stats for almost verbatim from a touchdown interception ratio, and then you praise him and say he's an MVP candidate. Now, wins are important, Rob. Now, I want that to
that was going to be my first argument, right?
Wins are very important. But you watch this Bears team every week, and you can't look at Justin Fields and say, yo, dog, this is your fault. You know what I mean? And that's just really what it is. So when I look at this team, though, Rob, and I look at what they've been able to do under John Harbaugh, we're talking about Jim Harbaugh potentially becoming the head coach of the Bears moving forward. Can another Harbaugh brother potentially get one of the more dynamic dual threat quarterbacks to have success, just like his brother has with Lamar Jackson? An MVP season, multiple division championships, multiple playoff appearances. This is something for me, Rob, where I look at it and I say, if you put the system involve it in Justin Fields. The system is Justin Fields the same way John Harbaugh. You know John Harbaugh very well, Rob. You've spoken highly about him before. When he had, who did he have? Who's the Joe Flacco? That was not the game plan. Joe Flacco was not rushing 1,000 yards a season. You know what I mean? And
he just came in and did his job.
When he acquired Lamar Jackson, John did the unthinkable and said, I am going to change what I have done my entire career as a coach, not only in the NFL, but in football. And I am going to make the game plan around this kid specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with the Chicago Bears, oh yeah, Tyson Bagent's having more success. Well, yeah, it's a lot easier to have more success when your offensive coordinator and head coach actually want to use the kid. They do not know how to use a Justin Fields type player.
Mm-hmm.
So my conversation for you, Rob, is do you believe that there isn't much of a difference between Justin Fields and Lamar Jackson today?
Nah, I can't go that far.
Talk to me, baby. Talk to me.
I can't go that far. First of all, winning does matter. So I mean, of course, you can have the exact same stats as somebody, but you look up at the record book and you like, okay, what is the guy doing? You know what I mean? And I think Lamar Jackson has more of an impact on the game than Justin Fields does, because Lamar Jackson has actually less. All he really has is Mark Andrews. Zay Flowers has just started to quote unquote bloom into what we think he can possibly be. Odell Beckham Jr., we don't know when he's going to show up. And I forgot the other receiver's name. You know, the saving grace for the Baltimore Ravens have been their rushing attack. Right. And if you look at what Lamar Jackson done, yeah, you speak about what Justin Fields has done with the 12 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. You got to look at rushing yards. Look at what Lamar Jackson does with his legs. It has to be accounted for. So far in the year, he's played 12 games. He got 112 carries, 574 yards, 5 touchdowns, and he does have his 5 fumbles. And then you look at Justin Fields on the year. Yes, he has less fumbles and 2 overall just from a rushing standpoint. But we all know that Justin Fields' ball security is horrible. But he has 77 carries for 400 yards. And like you said, if you're looking at the turnover, Lamar Jackson has 1 more turnover than Justin Fields, and Justin Fields has played 4 less games.
Right.
That's a problem.
Right.
So you look at that, there's still a lot of things that Justin Fields has to learn, and Lamar Jackson has progressed. We're talking about a guy who was looked at where everybody was saying, this guy should be a running back. He's not meant to be a quarterback in the league. Not to mention he came out and won an MVP season, wasn't his first, second year. So now he's turned himself into a quarterback. And he said, you know what? I'm going to take your pocket passer and I'm going to put a Lamar Jackson spin on it. We literally saw this guy extend the play for 10 seconds. That is unheard of in the NFL. And he could have took off and started running, but he wants to show the world, oh, I can dime this joint too. And I just look at, well, Lamar Jackson is a winner. And sometimes you can't always go by the stats. That's one thing I agree with Skip Bayless. What does your eyes tell you? I know that if I got Lamar Jackson on my team, I have a bona fide winner. I have a guy that's going to go out here and give it his all. He's going to take responsibility when he needs to take responsibility. But he's going to show up clutch when I need him most nights.
Right.
And I don't get that from Justin Fields. Not yet. Like, Justin Fields sometimes looks a little shaky, and he can be rattled a little bit. When these guys start touching him up, you can start to see now he starts to go in panic mode, and he's like, okay, I got to get this ball out of my hand, you know, instead of making the right reads. And I just have to give it to Lamar Jackson so far. I think he does deserve to be, like, to have this Baltimore's Ravens team with the injuries that they face. Now they missing Mark Andrews. You missing your best receiver, and you're still winning games. Like that you have to.
I will say though, Gus Edwards with 10 touchdowns on the year, absolutely great.
Yeah,
that's the Gus Edwards that hasn't done jack in the last 3-4 years. You have Ty Flowers, who, oh my gosh, Flowers has been if you want to talk about one of the best rookie wide receivers.
Yeah, he's starting to bloom.
I mean, I like what you did there.
Yes, Lord.
Bar. Come on. It was sticky. But no, man, in all seriousness, though, you have the best tight end in football the majority of the season. Now he goes down, and that's one of the biggest. Like,
and he's gonna be gone for like 4 weeks at least, I think.
do you think he's out the
He
season?
had a cracked fibula and
Yeah, he's out. He's out the year.
lacerated ligaments and all types of stuff.
They said he's gone. He's
Yeah,
gone.
but he might come back for the playoffs.
No, they said he's out.
He's gone, huh?
He's gone.
Yeah,
so
they go to Ravens chances.
That's what I was saying is like it's so unfortunate because they finally put this together and you're like I mentioned earlier, your X factor is gone, and you have another X factor in Lamar, but it's when you meet Patrick Mahomes and he's got Kelsey, you got 2 X factors. Lamar needs something, and I can't give that to Flowers yet. And I'm not going to put that pressure on him. He's a rookie wide receiver.
Nah.
I'm not going to give that to OBJ because that's way past his prime to have that conversation. So, you're kind of just in a shitty situation. The X factor would be that defense, though. I will say that.
That defense. Shout out to Roquan, baby. You know what I'm saying? You still a bet for life, baby. So
no, he's not. He's not. He said, "Fuck that." He said,
you know what? To us, he's gonna always be.
To us, for sure.
But I'm gonna give it to him. You got to think about it though. Think of what he left to go do. Like you went to go play at the home that Ray Lewis built.
Yep.
And Ray Lewis has taken Roquan under his wing and becoming a mentor to him. When you got one of the baddest, if not the best, middle linebacker to ever play the game, being in your ear and telling you, I see something in you, you have to go out there and act a damn fool.
So you know what though, man? I love talking football with you.
Yeah, that's not keeping on the Bears all day because they're pitiful.
But you did make a transition in the basketball, talking about taking someone under their wing.
Oh yeah,
grooming somebody to be the best version of themselves.
Oh yeah.
I saw something last week that I just couldn't wait. I was itching to get back on Mars, and I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to get back in this world because I saw Greg Popovich do something that many people hated. Many fans felt disrespected. People thought it was stupid. Calling out the fans in San Antonio for booing Kawhi Leonard, not at the free throw line, but every time this man touched the ball or touched the court. Rob, if I could go first, it's just my personal opinion. Here's where I'm at with it. I loved it, bro. I loved it. That's everything you want to see. I mean, Rob is to my right here. That's my brother. Rob has helped me develop into the man I hope to continue to be and continue to become. I've had others like Coach Mack, Ben Needage, and so many others that have helped guide me into the right steps to be a winner and to just win in life. And that's something that Greg Popovich experienced with Kawhi Leonard. And Kawhi Leonard helped make Greg Popovich a champion. Now, maybe it wasn't as big of a deal as it was for Duncan and company. You know what I mean? Like Tim definitely contributed to more of that than Kawhi did. But the reality of that situation is he developed this young man. He got him as a boy and left him as a man. And that was the conversation for me to where when you see somebody that you care so deeply about who has contributed so much to that just get hated by the fan base. I think Pop had enough of it. And Pop was like, fuck that. This guy has won us a championship. No matter what, at the end of the day, Rob, I know you're not big on baseball, but when Chris Bryant comes back into town, when Jason Hayward comes back into town, Anthony Rizzo, Javier Baez, who couldn't hit water if he fell out of a fucking boat right now, they will always be cheered for when they come here. And I understand there's levels.
How did they leave?
Not well. They just
did they low manage their way?
Exactly.
Did they have an Uncle Dennis who started calling the shot? That and I get what Pop did. And you know what? I made a joke with Carolina T. Shout out to her. League of Long podcast.
She was pissed. She was pissed.
And I made a joke with her. I said, hey, Coach Pop want Kawhi back. I think he see the potential of what Kawhi and Wemby can do together, which I'm not mad at him. But you don't do that to your fans.
Right.
You don't do that to your fan because the fan is. I can see if they were like doing what like the Eagles fans did to the Buffalo Bills players, or doing throwing water bottles like the Knicks did, spitting on people like like they did to Kyrie, and the Knicks fans were spitting on Trae Young and calling them all that. I can see you saying, "Hey, let's calm that down from that."
Right.
But when you literally just have a fan base that loves their team so much that they're gonna boo the guy that they put their hopes and dreams into leading this team post Duncan, post Parker, post Ginobili.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you gotta mention Ginobili name because that's the Michael Jordan of Argentina.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta let your fans have that. Like Kawhi made his bed, now you gotta line it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure as a basketball player, as a star in the league, LeBron knew what Cleveland was gonna do the way he left them and went to Miami. Now you see what happened. He went back. He made his atonement with the Cleveland fans, won them a championship. Now they're giving the man whole celebrations on the screen. Welcome back, LeBron. I mean, I saw a picture where he had his own picture in the locker room. Welcome back, King.
So wait, but can I ask you a question about that difference though?
Yeah.
So Bron left without winning a championship.
Right.
And they booed because he left because he wanted the easy way out. Kawhi had already won one.
Yeah, but
do you
manage your way out of here? It's not like you left on your shield with your sword and shield, and you like, okay, San Antonio, I gave you everything I had, but because you didn't, and that's what it comes down to. You did not give this organization everything you had. You took the easy way out, and then you went on. You won the ring with Toronto. I mean, this is what San Antonio fans have to see. Like, damn. You gonna leave us and go, you know what I'm saying, go play with Toronto? Seriously? Like that they looking at like that could have been our ring.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm not mad at fans for their fandom. And I think Coach Pop, you know, sometimes he getting to that age now, he's a little old in the century. I hate to say it like that, but you know, I think jobs like the president of the United States, jobs like being the head coach in a professional sports league, you have to have an age requirement. You can't be too young, but you damn sure can't be Bernie Sanders walking in there.
Oh, man, you know, you say too young, and I know there's a conversation we can get into right now. And I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Appreciate y'all. Champions get trophies. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, baby. Talk about facts. Yes, Lord.
Yes, sir. I definitely hear what you're saying. I think there's so many levels to it. Like, I get it from Pop's, like I was saying, I get it from Pop's perspective. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I get it from a guy who's mentored this kid, who's been a part of his life. I'm sure they still talk all the time. You know, I hear that, and I get that 110%. But I think the way he went about it was just so Pop, and I loved it.
I mean,
the man, if I can't even get Billy Donovan to smile on the sideline, I got Pop talking about something. Whoa. Hey, yo.
They don't even want Billy Donovan in the locker room.
No, hell no. Get him out of here. But no, man, I think there's so many different levels to it, and I think it's really exciting to see a Greg Popovich that still cares, because you know you kind of start to see that in a Bill Belichick who man, I really don't care what happens here. Make the field goal, miss the field goal. I don't care. Pop cares about what happens to this franchise. He cares what happens to these players, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see what could potentially happen with Victor, the same way we saw him develop guys like Duncan, the same way we saw guys like Parker, obviously Kawhi, and who he's become. I do believe he'll be closer to Kawhi with the load management at some point, but I'm not going to wish that upon nobody. I'm just saying what I'm seeing.
I think Pop got his players' best interests at heart. You know what I mean? And he wants to win, but he doesn't want to run these guys into the ground, which I understand that, and I'm cool with that. But you got to let players play, man. You know, that's one of the things that made me such a huge fan of Kobe Bryant when he made the statement of there might be somebody that spent their last money. There might be a family that flew all the way from another country to watch me play, and then I get to the arena and I don't play. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna do my fans like that. And I wish players thought about that. I can't tell you. Like one time I went to the Bulls game, and I know Derrick Rose wasn't doing it purposely, but he was hurt. And I was like excited to go watch this man play. I'm glad I got to watch him play in person eventually. Right. But I'm like, I remember like, damn, Rose not playing. Like I was ready to have a good time that night. Ready.
Right. And that's me growing up, man. I never got a chance because of financial reasons that I never got a chance to see Derrick Rose play. Yeah. So when I got to see him hoop against the Chicago Bulls, on Joakim Noah night.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, we had We had Love in the building. We had Booze in the building. We had everybody in the building to represent Joakim Noah. And on top of that, Tibbs and Rose were on the other side of the bench playing against him. And I got to see Derrick Rose from the nosebleeds. It ain't nothing pretty, but I had a ball, bro. I had a ball. I was like, oh my God, it's real life. Like, this is happening.
And it was just, like what Benny Siegel said. He said, I ain't the captain of the yacht, but I'm on a boat.
Hey, I'm on the boat though.
You feel me?
I might be on the anchor, but I'm on the motherfucking boat. You know what I mean? But, that's really all that matters to so many kids. Like, I got to see LeBron in person before. I got to see him before Kobe passed, 2019. They came to Chicago, and
I'm hurt about that, and that's why I said I'm not gonna make that mistake again. Which is why next year I am going to go watch Steph play. Like, everybody know that's my new favorite player. And in case anybody who are new fans here, I said, when Kobe was my favorite player, I am not picking another favorite player until that man officially retired. And when he had his retirement night, I teared up like a kid watching his pops play. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And the moment Kobe retired, I had already kind of zeroed in on Steph. And I said, that's my guy. Right. And I've been ride or die with Steph ever since. And I'm going to make sure I go see a Steph game for sure in person.
I mean, man, remember me last year talking to you, bro. I mean, me and you, I called you, bro. The shorty I was with at the time, who I'm not going to speak ill of her because this is a positive conversation. But at the time, bought me 100 level seats for my birthday.
Yeah.
To go see Jimmy Butler in person. Mind you, I was there for Jimmy Butler, but I had a ball because Patrick Beverly hit 7 threes in that game, and I was going cool. The first time he did it, I said, Rob, first time he did it, I said, hey, bro, Pat, never do that shit again.
Shout out to Pat. You see the skyline. Hey, shout out to Pat.
Hey, then Pat hit another one. I said, hey, hit a third one. I said, hey, yo, I'm getting sturdy. I'm standing up. Oh, hey, we fucking with Pat now. It's cool. Pat from Chicago, bro. I mean, that's what it is.
Pat over there acting a fool for Philly too.
And I love the banter he has now with Austin Reeves after Austin Reeves did him bogus in Chicago.
Small now,
he got him back. He hit him with that elbow. I listened to his podcast with Rome.
It's pretty good.
I don't like Rome.
It's pretty good. I think Rome is a dick rider, but.
Yeah, like I'm happy you said it because I've never heard Roan really talk about basketball.
Yeah,
he's just always asking questions and letting Pat talk, which I guess is the narrative. But like me and you talking, having conversation, ball, I know ball, so we could talk about ball.
Yeah,
it's really just Pat. What do you think about this? And that's it. You know what I mean? There's no input. He says some stupid comment. I mean, you know what I mean? Like.
A couple of these players got a couple good pals. Like I like Podcast P with Paul George.
I don't like Paul George though. I don't like his personality.
Paul George is cool to me. Like I know people like Paul George that I'm very cool with. Like like
maybe you just gotta be in the room to get that vibe. But like just listening to it and the Hispanic guy with him, I don't like him.
And then I like Jeff Teague podcast. Jeff Teague is an amazing story. He got that KG element. Like KG can tell a story walking outside, taking the trash, and make it sound exciting. Man, oh Lord, you know what I'm saying? Lord, we went out there, Lord. He big vice Lord. Hey Lord, you know what I'm saying? Lord, I went to the garbage can. I saw the raccoon pop out. I'm like, Lord. You know what I'm
saying? You wrong, dog.
But man, I love KG. Boy.
Ain't nobody better than Shumpert when Shumpert's on
podcast. Shump can tell a story. I love his Kobe stories, man.
Bro, he just be talking about nothing, and it's just like the craziest story. But
shout out to
story coming up for us,
baby.
I want to play this interview that I know you spoke on Rob's 2 cents.
Yeah.
But we mentioned Curry, we mentioned Clay, we mentioned all of our favorite players. My favorite players, Clay and Butler.
Yeah.
I'm not having a good time, man. I'm not having a good time. This was an interview with Klay Thompson in a post game about potentially somebody. It wasn't a question about who's getting benched, but just listen, ladies and gentlemen, just listen to the clip. Whatever narrative you want to write it. I'm not painting no picture.
Right.
Was there sound to that, Rob?
No, man. Did you not get the sound?
I had the sound, but whatever. I guess I didn't get the sound. But
You know what? Hey, if you don't mind, I got your back, my boy.
You got my back.
I had to just change it to this, but ladies and gentlemen, listen to the clip.
Believing in his guys, especially the starting lineup, won championship not too long ago. Having patience, letting guys kind of find their game. How aware are you of that kind of patience, and how much do you value it?
What do you want me to bench me?
No. It's like that's
bench Wiggs.
I don't think I said that.
Okay. I mean, you can suggest it. It's fine. But I mean, thanks, Steve. I guess. Like, I don't know. Sometimes you earn these things like patience and time to find yourself. And I think history is on our side when it comes to that stuff.
You say that. Have you heard people say that, or
No, I don't care what people say. Like, they don't do what we do. They can't do what they do. That's why they talk. Why would I? Like, come on. I don't care what people say at this point in my life. Next question.
Rob, that's my dog. That's my boy. But that felt like a man who cares about what people say.
Oh, it's most definitely. Most definitely.
Bro, I was like, the whole time, I'm like, bro, you could have just said you were appreciative and moved on.
But I'm like looking at somebody eating and you like, nah, I'm not hungry.
You gonna finish that? No, come on. Bro, like, listen, I hear what he's saying, though. You know what I mean? Like, he's tired of hearing it from the fans. But that reporter wasn't. That reporter was kind of just looking for. I do this, bro.
The reporter was doing his job.
Not even that. Like,
here's to ask tough questions because they know what the people want to hear.
It's not even that, though. But here's the big thing for me. Like, for the Chicago Sky, when I'm reporting for them and I'm in the press room and we're having these conversations, I'm like, man, this team needs something right now. This team needs a spark. This team needs a comment that is going to bring them together and bring in the camaraderie. And there, in my personal opinion, from the outside looking in, Klay might have a different relationship. Maybe this guy's been asking questions similar to that for a while, and we just don't know. There's a lot of things that he could. A big thing people don't know: who is that guy? What articles has he written? What has he said about Klay? You don't know. That reporter could have wrote a whole article about how Klay should be benched 2 days ago, and that's why he was giving him the response because we don't normally see that from Klay. So I think. At the end of the day, Rob, though, my point in bringing up the Chicago Sky is if I go, man, someone needs to say some shit. I'm going to pop off with Kalia Copper. I'm going to pop off with Courtney Williams, and she's going to say some shit that, oh, my God, graciousness, you're going to want to run through a brick wall when she's done making this speech. Yeah. And that was kind of where I was at with Klay right there, was I was like, yeah, he's going to talk about how much, like, they believe in each other and the camaraderie and how they're going to always bounce back. And instead – it kind of turned into this, will you hate me? You don't like me? Ooh, I don't care if you don't like me. I think you care if I don't like you. Like that's and what was the Wiggs stray?
Yeah, I don't know. He said you want to bench him and Wiggs, I guess.
But
Wiggs statistically has been having like the second worst season of his career. So
yes.
But also at the same time, though, I think I get what you're saying, but not every media person is like that. Like, they're able to separate fandom from their job. Like, I get it. Like, you're a fan of Chicago. You're going to want to see the Chicago organization do good, whether it's the Bulls, whether it's the Sky, the Bears, Cubs, Blackhawks, maybe not the Sox if you're a North Sider. But
I'll tell you what. You want to hear something right now? You want the real Rob Scott? I would root for the Chicago White Sox today before I root for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Oh, wow.
I mean, the way, not to get it off topic, but the way they've been going with the personnel harassment and sexual assault stuff, the way they've been handling stuff,
I get you on that.
I want no part.
But most media people, can pull their fandom out and give an accurate assessment of what they've been seeing. And unfortunately, we saw it last night. Steph Curry took a double team half-court three for a game winner, and Klay was wide the fuck open.
Mm-hmm.
That should tell you something. Your team is losing confidence in you because you're not making your shots.
Right.
You are not the feared shooter that people once feared.
Right.
Like you are not that Klay Thompson anymore, and it's okay. Father Time catches up with
Very okay.
everybody. You know, you came back from a horrible ACL injury. Most players don't come back from that. You know
Right.
what I mean? So, you know, the fact that he's back and the fact that they have won post injury a championship is
Mhm.
beautiful. But sometimes you got to know what's better for the team. I personally think they should start Moses Moody. Like I've been saying this since,
Or
since
even
like,
Kuminga at this point.
I wouldn't even start Kuminga. I like what Moses Moody does. Like Steve Kerr, he caters too much to these guys. Like Moses Moody was hot last night.
Right.
He was hot, and you don't take him out the game. Warriors win that game.
Right.
I firmly stand on that. I firmly believe that.
I
So,
felt like that for a while with Andre Iguodala and Kevon Looney. I
yeah,
felt like you were keeping Iguodala in there in situations where he shouldn't be.
yeah.
And Looney's just on the bench, 26, 20, 25 years old, fresh legs, you ain't using them.
With 23 rebounds.
No,
That's what I'm saying, man. Like you got to know how to use your personnel. It's okay to come off the bench. Most greats have to. Allen Iverson had to come off the bench. Carmelo had to come off the bench. Like it's okay. LaMarcus Aldridge, who was the star in Portland, eventually had to start coming off the bench. Like it happens, bro. So I just think Klay has to really look at himself in the mirror and realize you were the main contributor to 4 championships, and you can be a main contributor to the 5th. You just might not be in a starting role.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with coming out the bench. Jamal Crawford, who I feel like is one of the most feared players that ever played in the NBA.
Hey, I'm gonna name a couple other names
Man of the year.
because you forgetting right now.
Who,
Right?
Lou? Like my boy Lemon Pepper Lou?
No. It's cool. It's cool that we naming guys who are great bench players. You know what I mean? Because with that perfect segue, I do want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Bench Mob Chicago, really quick. Check out Bench Mob Chicago on benchmobchicago.com or benchmob.com and on Bench Mob Chicago on Instagram for all your Chicago Bulls apparel. It's a great website. You can check out your Chicago bench mobber of the night, your Shy Slamma Jamma dunk of the night, so many other things as well. They do amazing things. But to get back into that and have a real conversation, Rob, I see what you're talking about because you named a few guys that have just relatively been role players their whole life outside of Carmelo and Jamal and company. Let's talk about Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Rajon Rondo.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Russell Westbrook, who just the other week advocated for, hey, I'll go to the bench if you need me to. Now it's not working out because James Harden's a piece of shit. Anyways,
that was supposed to be the other way around.
Yeah, 100%. But with that being said, though, you know, you have that conversation about, man, maybe it's just time. And I think Charles Barkley said something the other night. I don't know if you saw what he said about the Warriors.
What, that they were cooked?
That they were cooked, that Draymond should be on the bench, that Wiggins should be on the bench, and Klay should be on the bench.
I wouldn't put those guys on the bench. Look, the reason I say Klay is because Klay can still be valuable with Chris Paul coming off that bench. Like
very valuable.
You got Chris Paul, Klay, Gary Payton Jr. Like you still got a Kuminga. You still got a second unit that could contend with most
experienced second unit too.
You know what I mean? And I don't think it's like Wiggs. I think he'll get it together. Wiggs hasn't really been in shape. Like remember, he was gone all that time last year for unknown reasons. It was rumors that his father was sick. It was rumors that his best friend slept with his baby mama, and possibly the kid that they got in his. You know what I mean? So
there was a lot of fucked up.
We don't know why he was gone, but while he was gone, it's been said now that he didn't come back, you know, in this season in basketball shape. So now he's kind of, you know, using the season now to get in shape, you know.
Do you think though? Because I want to ask a real question about Andrew Wiggins. You know, that has been not taking anything away from what could have potentially happened last year, but that has been a narrative for him throughout his entire career, is his work ethic and his inability to remain consistent. And I think that's one of my problems with Wiggs right now is like, I get it, you know, you're not in shape, but Rob, what do we talk about all the time? How did Jokic spend his offseason?
Oh, he was up there chilling, drinking, racing horses, smoking weed, passing out in the middle of the street. But
But when it's time to ball, it's time to ball. And
it's not too many people built like Jokic. Though. Actually,
not too
I
many
don't,
people built
I
like
don't
him,
think I've
but
ever
remember
seen
who
anybody
Wiggins.
built like Jokic.
You know what I mean? Though I know a lot of guys built like Jokic. To be honest,
Well, built like him, but not built like
nah,
him.
I hear you.
You ain't got that.
I know a lot of motherfuckers in Sauganash that look like Nikola Jokic. That's all I'm saying. But in all seriousness, though, man, you look at Wiggs and you're like, all right, bro, how much time you need for it? You know what I mean? And same with Clay. All right, he's gonna come back from this injury and maybe give it a year. All right, bro, it's been what, 3 years?
Yeah.
Ooh, not looking too hot.
I mean, Steph Curry practically had to put the team on his back when they beat the Celtics in the finals, right?
And you got lucky that Jordan Poole, by some glisten of hope, was one of the best shooters in all of basketball.
Well, it's easy. I can go out there and be a great shooter if you got to worry about Steph Curry.
But what happened immediately the next season? You know what I mean? He's not that. So it's like, if he didn't catch fire when he did, would they have made it? Because remember, the Clippers were on their tail.
Yeah.
A bunch of other teams were on their tail. But Rob, here's the question I want to pose. You look at Charles Barkley said that Steph is slowing down, and here's what pissed me off. Because I got something for you, Rob. You ready for this? No one mentioned this on the panel because this was Charles's argument. His game looks fine. He's not slowing down, but he's getting injured, and that comes with age. I said, no, it doesn't. Steph's been injured since he came into the league. Steph's always been banged up.
Suffered huge ankle injuries. I mean, people thought that he wasn't going to even be able to get to this point.
So I don't want to hear that, it's an age thing. No, Steph just has bad ankles. That's just always been Steph. There's no secret. A bad shoulder, bad ankle. He's Birdman, to be honest.
It's a long season. Like, you got to think about it. Steph Curry kind of went on a LeBron type run, in which he was like in the playoffs every year. You know what I'm saying? I think 2018 was the first year they had missed. 2018, like
year.
What was that? 2020 when they didn't make it to the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2020 and 2021, I think 2019.
2021 they won it.
No, 2019 and 2020, like it had been a while since they had been to the playoffs. Because remember, they had lost to the Grizzlies they lost to the Grizzlies the year before. Then they came back and didn't even make it to the bubble the following year. So you got to think about it. Like from 2014 or 2015 up until 2019, they were in the playoffs. Had a 2-year break,
and they were in the finals.
Got back to the playoffs and went to the finals. Right, and they weren't just in the playoffs; they was going on deep runs.
Minimum Western Conference Finals.
So
minimum.
You know, that's what happened when you ain't used to winning like that. You're so used to praying for people down.
So
I love Charles Barkley, but
what do you do in this situation at this point in the season? I want to ask you. You look at Steph Curry. If you're the Warriors organization, if you're Steve Kerr, yo man, listen, respect to Dre, respect to Wiggs, respect to Clay, but man, we got Steph Curry still shooting the way he's shooting. Yeah. You have to put a Kevin Durant. You have to put an like I mentioned earlier, man. It don't matter what ball we talking. They all got X factors, baby.
Yeah.
You need an X factor next to Curry because of the way the league is just managed today. What do you do, and what co-star are you looking to add with Steph Curry?
It's tough because now you got to look at the landscape and see what co-star is ready to force themselves from their current situation. Right now, I think people are kind of settled in, unless you're like the Bulls. But I think everybody else is
none of them.
I think everybody else is kind of settled in. They're happy with their teams. They're playing together. They're balling. You seeing teams like Minnesota, play out of their mind. Teams like Houston playing out of their mind. So it's kind of hard to say. Maybe you go to like a Brooklyn Nets or something. Maybe you go start to look at like a Cam Thomas and see, what are you willing to give up for Cam? You know what I mean?
That to me though is still not enough. You know what I mean?
You must ain't watch Cam play.
Oh, I watch Cam.
Cam a dog, bro. Like I don't think Cam can lead a team by itself. But if you take the Cam Thomas that I've been watching and you put him alongside Steph, you now have a dynamic duo out of this world, bro.
100%.
Out of this world, because Cam can get his own shot. One thing that Clay can't do is get his own shot. Like Clay can dribble, pull up, you know what I'm saying? Because he got the height, he got the skill to shoot over people. But like Cam can go mix people up. Like Like Steph can go become a catch and shoot guy and let Cam run the offense for a little bit.
Yep.
Like that's how much of a dog this kid is. I'm telling you, man, he up next.
Nah,
Mark
he is.
my word. You gonna remember Rob? I'm Rob Stradamus. You gonna remember Rob saying this. He's up next.
Nah, for sure. And I mentioned you that about Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, obviously, and Anthony and everybody. It's
Yeah,
going
they
to
got
be
Cam
interesting.
Johnson over there. They
They got everybody.
Yeah, they got
They
a
got
nice little
what's his name?
Dorian Finney-Smith. They got
Yup,
a
Dorian
nice little
Finney-Smith.
squad.
They
Yeah, they got
got
a nice little squad over
I
there.
love the center they have, bro. What's
Oh,
the
you
name?
talk oh my God, I just about
Claxton.
Nick Claxton.
Look at us. But
Together,
no.
Doublemint twins.
But what I'm saying is, in all seriousness, though, like Cam is a dog, right?
Yeah.
But when you get to the finals, who is Cam? And I think
You don't know.
But that's the thing. You can't make this move at this point in Steph Curry's career for I don't know.
Okay, I can feel that.
Because I don't know about Kuminga. I don't know about Moody. I don't know what those guys could potentially be. The same way I don't know about Cam.
And you don't know about Clay. You don't know about your current roster.
That's
now.
my point. Is you need to make a move. I'm looking at 2024 free agency, Rob. Klay Thompson, Tobias Harris, James Harden, Pascal Siakam, Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, Buddy Hield, Mike Conley, Spencer Dinwiddie, D'Angelo Russell, Valanciunas, Dougie D, Dougie McDermott, Dougie McBuckets, Taylor Horton Tucker. You know what I mean? Like nothing really.
I just heard a bunch of supporting stars. supporting
Miles Bridges.
Not even supporting stars, so supporting roles.
Yeah, it's just not Cody Zeller. I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing crazy. And I think at the end of the day, what you have Nick Claxton. But at the end of the day, what you have to look at here is what star could you potentially force to get? Now, Rob, I'm talking something the Warriors have not done. They just got KD. KD walked in and said, "Hey, y'all need one?" And they ran with it. They have never made a huge move. They have their draft picks. They obviously traded back for Gary Payton, but you have to do something here. Now, for me, you ready for this? The team that's not meeting expectations, the team that I believe is going to at some point blow it up, I think you look at the New Orleans Pelicans.
I knew you was about to say that.
I think you look at Zion and you say,
but do you trust Zion health? Because I was thinking about
that. Do you trust Clay's health?
But it's two different roles.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah, they're two different roles, though. So I mean, I get you. Like, I trust Clay's health. I don't trust Clay getting his game.
Like
I feel like Clay is like he was like the sixth man on the team in Space Jam, and they took his powers.
That boy was the skunk. The boy was the skunk who just chilled out. Pepe Le Pew.
They done took his powers, bro.
They done took his powers, bro. But no, like
my boy DeVito be doing it with the Giants. You know what I'm saying?
What's this? What's it? Hey.
That's my boy right there. I rock with DeVito. That's my guy.
Telling you, man. The Italians are different, bro. But I look at that though, and I say, I see these white boys, DiVincenzo, and so many others, Lamb, all these guys that come into the organization and learn how to shoot threes the way Steph shoots them. Not exactly the way how Steph shoots them, but they're hitting shots, and they're hitting more shots than Clay. And I look at that, I go, okay, well, we respectfully at this point in time, because better believe January 2024, January 2024, Rob and I are going to be at the United Center together. We are going to see Curry and Clay.
We going.
And we go into the Bay at some point too. But
the Yay area.
With that being said, though, I see a team full of Clays, a current Clay. Now, what Clay was in his prime, none of these guys come close to that. One of the better two-way players in the entire league, a guy who defended LeBron James in the finals effortlessly. And that, mind you, that's a defensive player of the year in Draymond Green, and Clay still is the one that gets the honor to guard LeBron James. Yeah. And that's prime, that's cracked out of his mind, LeBron James. People don't talk about that 2018 LeBron James. But I still think that Miami is prime. But, I think at the end of the day, man, what you lack is that athleticism, that size, that force that Draymond can't provide anymore, and that Wiggins never really has shown you. And that's where I see a Zion Williamson joining the party. And I see, hey, man, maybe not BI, but if we can get Zion, we can make a move. And I think
I don't trust BI.
I don't trust Bi. I mean, that man looked 40 at 25. I can't trust it. But I don't like it, man. Something happened. Someone stresses him out, man. Whether it's a baby mama or what, I don't know. But something be stressing that man out. But I don't know, Rob.
We'll see. We'll see, man. Let me,
we got one. I was hoping, Rob, that it would have been Giannis.
I was too.
I was
now
hoping,
that he got Dame, Giannis ain't going nowhere.
Well, you know what? I disagree. I'm ready to argue with you, Rob.
We can argue on the next show about that.
No. I'm ready to argue. We got 10 minutes left. We can do a little spat because we only got one more topic.
We
Rob,
ain't going nowhere.
But tell me something. They don't win a championship with Dame, right?
Yeah.
What was it that Giannis said this offseason?
He gone, but the Warriors don't have the money to pay for him. So the argument is over with.
You ain't hearing me.
They just gave Draymond a $100 million extension.
What did Giannis say this offseason, Rob?
That he gone, that they can't get the job done.
And if they can't get the job done, what's going to happen?
That don't mean he coming to play with Golden State.
But all I'm saying is, if Golden State knew, hey, man, Giannis is on the move. Hey, Draymond, boop, bye, Clay, bye, Wiggs, bye. Everybody's shipping off.
You going to ship out somebody you just gave $100 million to?
Yes.
And you think Milwaukee going to take off that contract?
I think they would take Wiggins.
Right, but what you going to do about Draymond?
I could have all three. Wiggins gets paid $100 million.
You think they'll take Wiggins for Giannis?
If Giannis is walking out regardless, I say, hey, bro, here's my next 10.
They're going to ask for Wiggins, Clay. They're going to ask for your whole team.
You can have them. Cool. I'll hire Mike Hughes and Rob Scott to play the 3 and 4.
Yeah. How's that working out for Phoenix right now?
Hey, it's cool. Because you know what Phoenix don't have? Steph Curry.
I get it, but
I hear you though. But we got our last topic of the night. You know what? We'll do 2. Josh Giddey. Fuck him. Forget about it.
No, let's not talk about him no more.
It's raps. I just want to get it out of the way.
My thing with Josh Giddey, what he did was wrong. Of course, like, dude, like if you knew, now this rumors coming out that that's what she does. She lies. And I just read an article that the young lady and her family are not participating in law enforcement. Like, they're not answering nothing. My thing with Josh Giddey was the fact of how the mainstream media kept quiet. And we've seen them go crazy about Kyrie. We've seen them go crazy about Coach Ime Udoka. We've seen them go crazy about all the smaller stuff. They was even talking about, the coach for Boston. I saw Malika Andrews interviewing him, and she bought some skeletons out of his closet. And that was uncalled for. But the Josh Giddey and this whole situation pops up, everybody is mouth quiet.
Yeah, I haven't heard a word. And I think here's the craziest part is I'm gonna take away Shaq. I'm gonna take away Barkley, Ernie. Shout out to Ernie, by the way, Broadcasters Hall of Fame. Thought that was really cool.
That's the GOAT.
That's the GOAT for real, man.
That's the GOAT. Man, EJ, one of my reasons for doing this right now.
But with that being said, though, I see TMZ, I see the news showing Ja Morant 24/7.
Facts.
Hey, man, look at this. Look at this ghetto thug. Look at it. He's ungrateful for the opportunity. He wants to go from riches to rags, not rags to riches.
Rags to riches. He said riches to rags. You
shout out that boy, Rodarius Wave. But no, in all seriousness, Ja Morant legally owns a weapon with a conceal and carry. And yes, he acts a damn fool. Yes, he acts a way that guys like me and Rob would never act because we know where we come from. And with that being said, though, nothing truly illegal came from those Instagram lives. Now, Rob made a point earlier, and I'm not discussing that. With a point, I'm not talking about the Indiana Pacers situation with the bean. I'm talking about at the strip club with a Glock. I'm talking about in a car with a Glock, having the right to have this opportunity, having the right to have this weapon in your possession because you live in America, and still getting symbolized and treated as a criminal.
Yeah,
like you committed an act. Like and Josh Giddey potentially. I'm not gonna say he did. I
don't like to accuse people until we find out the answers, but it's a lot of damning evidence. Let's just say
there's a fucking lot, and it's very unfortunate. you know, that if it's framed or whatever, but from
Yeah,
what we've seen, you know, it looks bad. It
really
respectfully,
bad.
bro, it looks like you're fucking kids. And if that's the case, and I don't see TMZ diving deep into this, and I don't see him on ABC7 or all these other places, even just it being mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing about Aaron Rodgers more than I'm hearing about anything else. And I got some
Thank
smoke.
you.
I got some smoke with Aaron Rodgers too, because sir, I tore my Achilles last year. Ain't no way you coming back to 79 days, motherfucker. You a lie. You a damn lie. Shut the fuck up with it. No, you do not fully. Yeah, bro. I just had a magical treatment from a magical doc. Get the fuck out of here, bro. But in all serious, I had to get that out. But in all seriousness, though, you look at that, and that's my problem, Rob.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna sit here and say what Giddy did or what he didn't do because I want the evidence before anything. But that's my
right.
problem as a white man. As a white man in today's society with the platform that I have, I'm sitting up here today and I'm saying I got to see the evidence. And for someone like me, I feel that way about everybody. White, black, brown, blue, yellow, tall, short, fat, skinny. I don't care.
Show me the Carfax.
Show me the Carfax, baby. What's in your wallet? I want to see it. And that's the real though. But that's not everybody else. White
Yeah,
America does this thing to where a white man, I'm not trying to get too deep into it, but a white kid shoots up a school and you start looking at his medical history and try to see if there's something mentally wrong with him. A black kid shoots up a school and it's a whole different thing. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you're saying, oh, he was just born that way. Oh, woo, woo, woo. And you blame it on mental health and all this other shit. And in the Josh Giddey situation, man, John Morant is instantly a criminal. John Morant is an ungrateful piece of shit. Woo, 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 woo. Just for having a weapon in his possession. Now, was he acting a fool? Was he acting childish? Yes.
yeah. He was.
Is he a criminal?
No,
Is Josh Giddey a criminal potentially? Yes.
dude. Like they're not even mentioning the R word. Like
Dude,
if it comes out, technically that's rape.
that's statutory rape.
I'm just, and I hate to say it like that, bro, but it is what it is.
And I will say it's not the first time that the NBA's had this under their hands before.
Oh yeah, we know about the mailman.
You know about the mailman, Karl Malone. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of bad things going on in the world, bro. But I wanted to get that off my chest because I felt like you have to say something, especially, and I continue to reiterate this as a white man with the platform we have. You have to point out when shit's fucked up.
That's why I love you, Mike.
Because motherfuckers don't listen to motherfuckers. Motherfuckers don't listen to the people. Motherfuckers don't listen to the street. Like they only listen to each other. So hear me, y'all some bitches. And y'all need to stand on business. Motherfuckers fucking kids, and you ain't talking about it.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying.
We talking about Miles Bridges and we talking about Kelly Oubre getting clipped by a car for no fucking reason, and Aaron Rodgers being a magical fucking wizard of Harry Potter, and he's out here with Dumbledore just fixing his fucking foot. Fuck out of here, bro. But I got one last topic and we're gone.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Rob, how'd you feel about Mark Cuban?
Man, shout out to Mark Cuban, man. Hey, first of all, I got love for Mark Cuban because have I met him personally and know him? No. But every story you've heard about Mark Cuban, either from his team or opposing teammates or opposing teams, they have nothing but nice things to say about Mark Cuban. They talk about like, look what he did for what was my man name? Delonte West.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look, like he didn't have to do that. Like, and I
it
just heard the story.
He tried.
And I heard the story. Muggsy Bogues was on I believe All the Smoke, and yeah, because he was talking with Matt Barnes. And Muggsy Bogues talked about when he got traded to the Mavericks. You know, I think it was his 13th year, and he ended up didn't play his 14th. No, it was his 13th year. He didn't play his 14th, 15th, or 16th season. And Mark Cuban had extended his contract for those 3 years because Muggsy had to go take care of his mother because she had cancer, which she eventually passed away. So I'm sorry to hear that. But you know, that's love. That shows you the type of owner that Mark Cuban is, man. And to see that this man bought a franchise and it was worth $200-something million and is now worth $3.5 billion today, and you just sold majority of your stake for two point something $1 billion. Not to mention you was able to work out a deal where you still keep control of basketball operations for this organization. Shout out to you, Mark Q.
100%.
Oh God, man,
I
that's
agree
my
with it.
guy, boy.
$3
And you
billion.
even heard opposing teams say, man, I love to go play in Dallas because when we go in the locker rooms, you know, most stadiums, we eating sandwiches and we eating, finger foods. Man, we go to Dallas Stadium, man, we eating steak and lobster. Like, he treating us like we his team. So not only is his team eating good, he making sure we eat good. That just shows you the type of man Mark Cuban is, man. Shout out to Mark Cuban, man. For real, I got love for that guy, man. One of the best owners, and not just in the NBA, but in all of professional sports.
I know there were conversations about him buying the Bears, man, and
I would have loved it.
I would love it. It's not gonna happen, but I would love it.
I would have loved it, man. The McCaskies need to let that shit go.
Man, let it die, baby. Let it die. But no, man, we appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight's episode of Welcome to Mars. Make sure you check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Facebook, and on Instagram, baby. We're gonna be posting reels soon. I got reels of Rob just waiting to post throughout the week. Pause. Resume. But no, in all seriousness, man, we appreciate you guys so much. We got a lot of conversations we still want to talk about. The topic tonight was drama. We talked about all the drama going on throughout the NBA. Obviously, Giddey wasn't the main one, just because we don't respect it and we don't condone of anything that happened in that situation, especially until we get the facts, because we're going to remain consistent on what we stand on. Stand on business only. Same thing with John Morant. Same thing with Udoka, same thing with everybody else. We are going to wait till we hear everything else, till we provide you guys with more information. But
Mike, they come to us for the real.
The real, baby.
They come to us for the real. That's our new slogan. If you want the real, go to Mars.
And if you want some bullshit, play with your mama, not with me. No, baby. But Saturday, we're going to have a great show. We're going to be talking about the play-in. The Chicago Bulls have been eliminated. We have the new seedings, the new groupings, and water's wet. You know what I mean? Dogs bark, grandma's whine. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But, with that being said, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We will be back better than ever this Saturday. Until then, you guys keep doing what you're doing. You know how I feel about it going down in the Shy, baby. We're going to check you guys out on the next one. Make sure you hit that follow button, because it definitely does help us out a lot. Until then, you know what to do, baby.
Gonna fight for your right to party!